The Great Hall on Vera Prime glowed with soft blue light from the crystal walls. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in their high seats around a wide circle. This was the Galactic Council. It was the place where the oldest and strongest species in the galaxy made their big decisions. Today they had called an emergency meeting. Ambassador Thalvorn stood tall in the center. He was from the Krix Empire, one of the oldest and most powerful groups in the galaxy. His skin was smooth and green, and his four eyes blinked slowly as he spoke. "These humans are still young," he said in a calm voice. "They only learned to fly into space a short time ago. They fight among themselves on their small blue planet. Why should we worry about them now?" Many council members nodded. The Eldari, tall and thin with silver skin, smiled softly. The Vorath, who looked like walking rocks with heavy armor, crossed their thick arms. Everyone knew the story of humanity. The aliens had watched Earth from far away for hundreds of years. Humans were clever, but they were also loud, angry, and quick to fight. They had wars on their planet all the time. They used guns and bombs made from simple metals and chemicals. "We have rules for new species," Thalvorn continued. "We watch them quietly. If they become peaceful and smart enough, we say hello one day. But these humans are not ready. They still burn oil and cut down their own trees. They argue over small pieces of land. Let us keep them in their own solar system for now." A soft voice rose from the back. It was Lady Serene of the Eldari Science Group. "But their growth is very fast," she said. "In just 100 years, they went from riding horses to sending machines to their moon. Now they have small bases on their red neighbor planet, Mars. Their numbers grow every day. What if they come out sooner than we think?" Thalvorn waved a hand. "They are primitive. Their ships are slow and weak. Our smallest patrol ship could destroy 10 of theirs without effort. There is no danger." The council room filled with quiet talk. Some agreed with Thalvorn. Others looked worried. The galaxy was big and old. Many species had joined the council after they proved they were not too dangerous. But humans seemed different. They were tough. They survived ice ages, wars, and sickness on their planet. They turned every problem into a new tool or weapon. Suddenly, a loud alarm rang through the hall. Red lights flashed on the walls. Every delegate looked up at the big screens above them. The main sensor officer, a small blue creature with many tentacles, spoke fast. "Honored Council, we have a new signal. It comes from the edge of human space. It is moving very fast toward us." Thalvorn frowned. "What kind of signal? A probe? A colony ship?" The officer's tentacles shook. "No, Ambassador, it is huge. The energy reading is impossible. It is bigger than any ship we have ever seen, and it is coming from the direction of Earth." The screens changed. They showed deep space, full of stars. Then a dark shape appeared. It grew larger and larger. The ship was long and black, with sharp edges. Lights ran along its sides like rivers of fire. It was not round or smooth like most alien ships. It looked like a giant knife made of metal. Our sensor said it was 12 kilometers long. That was bigger than many small moons. Gasps filled the hall. The Vorath general stood up so fast his stone chair cracked. "That cannot be a human ship," he growled. "Our biggest dreadnought is only 3 kilometers. This thing is a monster." The ship kept moving at high speed. It did not use the normal jump gates that the council controlled. It seemed to push space itself out of the way. Bright blue energy glowed at its back. Then a clear voice came through every speaker in the council hall. The voice was calm and strong. It spoke perfect galactic standard, the common language of the stars. "This is the Terran Federation Titan-class warship Indomitable. We come in peace, but we are prepared for war. We wish to speak with your leaders." The hall went completely silent. No one moved. So Thalvorn's four eyes were wide open. Lady Serene put a hand to her mouth. Even the tough Vorath looked shocked. "How do they know our language?" someone whispered. "How did they build something that big so fast?" another asked. Thalvorn tried to stay calm. "It must be a trick. Or maybe they stole the technology from somewhere. Send a message back. Tell them to stop and wait for our delegation. We will go meet them before they come any closer to civilized space." The officer sent the reply quickly. The Indomitable slowed down at once. It stopped in empty space, far from any council world, and waited like a patient hunter. Inside the council hall, panic started to grow. Scientists rushed to their data pads. They pulled up old pictures of Earth, small rockets, tiny space stations. Nothing like this. With the ship on the screen had rows of what looked like gun barrels, big doors that could open to release fighters, thick armor that shined with some unknown metal. It looked ready to fight a whole fleet alone. This is the first time any new species has shown us a warship this size on their very first move, Lady Serene said softly. They did not send a small explorer ship with flowers and gifts. They sent this Titan. Thalvorn felt a cold feeling in his chest. For the first time in many years, he felt afraid. The Krix Empire had ruled parts of the galaxy for thousands of years. They had met many new races. Most were small and scared. Some were proud but weak. None had ever arrived with a ship that made the whole council stop talking. The Varath general walked closer to the screen. His heavy feet made the floor shake. "Anna, look at the weapons," he said. "Those tubes at the front. They are not plasma cannons like ours. The energy readings are different, stronger. If that ship fires, it could break a planet in half." More data came in. The Indomitable had no weak spots that the sensors could find easily. Its engines were quiet but powerful. It carried enough power to run a whole city for years. And it was just one ship. What else did the humans have back home? Thalvorn raised his voice to quiet the room. "We must stay calm. We are the Galactic Council. We have faced wars before. We will send our best ships to meet this Indomitable, a mixed fleet, Krix battle cruisers, Eldari science vessels, and Vorath dreadnoughts. We will show them our strength and welcome them carefully, but we will also watch them closely." Everyone agreed. Orders went out fast. Within hours, a strong fleet gathered near the border of human space. Sleek silver Krix ships with sharp points, graceful Eldari vessels that looked like white birds, heavy Vorath ships that were like flying fortresses. They flew toward the waiting human ship. As the council fleet got closer, the Indomitable turned slowly to face them. It did not run. It did not hide. It simply waited, huge and dark against the stars. Its lights stayed steady, no weapons powered up, but everyone could feel the danger. On the bridge of the lead Krix battlecruiser, Captain Zorak stared at the view screen. "It is real," he said quietly. "A single human ship that dwarfs everything we brought. What kind of species builds something like this before they even say hello to the galaxy?" Back on Vera Prime, the council watched everything through live feeds. Thalvorn sat back in his seat. His hands shook a little. He had laughed at humans just an hour ago. Now he wondered if he had made a terrible mistake. The humans had not asked for permission. They had not begged to join the council. They had simply built the biggest, most dangerous ship anyone had ever seen and flown it straight into the heart of known space. The first alien encounter with humanity had begun, and already the mighty Galactic Council felt a new and unfamiliar feeling deep in their hearts. Fear. The mixed council fleet flew through deep space like a proud parade. 20 ships in total, the best each species could send on short notice. Krix battle cruisers cut through the darkness with bright silver hulls. Eldari science vessels moved gracefully beside them, their white surfaces shining like polished bone. At the back came the heavy Vorath dreadnoughts, slow but thick with armor and guns. Every captain felt confident. This was the power of the Galactic Council. No new species had ever stood against them and won. In the center of the formation waited the human ship. The Indomitable looked even bigger up close. 12 kilometers of dark metal floated silently. Its sharp angles made it look like a giant arrow pointed at the stars. Small lights ran along its sides. Large doors stayed closed. The ship did not move forward or backward. It simply waited, calm and steady. Captain Zorak stood on the bridge of his Krix battlecruiser, the Sharp Blade. He stared at the view screen with all four eyes. "Hail them again," he ordered. "Tell the humans we are here to talk. Tell them to prepare for docking. We will send a team aboard their ship." The message went out. A few seconds later, a reply came back in the same calm voice they had heard before. "This is Captain Elena Voss of the Indomitable. We accept. Our shuttle will come to your flagship. We prefer to meet on neutral ground first." Zorak frowned. Most new species felt nervous and waited to be invited. These humans spoke like equals. He gave a short nod. "Allow it. Clear a docking bay and prepare the main meeting room. Make sure our guards are ready, but do not point weapons at them. We must look strong, not afraid." On Vera Prime, the full council watched every moment through live video feeds. Ambassador Thalvorn sat forward in his seat. His green skin looked paler than usual. Lady Serene of the Eldari kept her hands folded tightly in her lap. The Vorath general said nothing. Yes, but his stone fingers tapped the arm of his chair. Soon a small human shuttle left the side of the Indomitable. It was tiny compared to the giant warship, yet it flew smoothly toward the Crick's flagship. No escort fighters came with it. The humans sent only one small craft. The shuttle docked without trouble. Airlocks hissed. Gravity fields matched. Then the inner door opened. 3 humans stepped out. The first was a woman. She wore a simple dark uniform with silver lines on the shoulders. Her black hair was tied back neatly. Her eyes were sharp and steady. This was Captain Elena Voss. She walked with calm steps, as if she had done this many times before. Behind her came a tall man in a lighter uniform. He had short brown hair and a friendly face. This was Chief Diplomat Marcus Kane. He carried a small data pad but no visible weapons. The third human was a quiet man with broad shoulders. He stayed 2 steps behind the others and said nothing. His uniform had different markings. Everyone guessed he was some kind of tactical officer. The council delegation waited in the large meeting room. Soft lights glowed from the ceiling. A long table stood in the middle with chairs for every species. Translators were ready. Food and drinks from many worlds had been placed on the table as a sign of welcome. Captain Voss stopped at the doorway and looked around once. Her face showed no surprise at the strange alien shapes in front of her. She gave a small nod. "Thank you for meeting us," she said clearly. "I am Captain Elena Voss. This is Chief Diplomat Marcus Kane. Our companion is Tactical Officer Reyes. We speak for the Terran Federation." Thalvorn stood up first. He tried to look tall and important. "I am Ambassador Thalvorn of the Crick's Empire. We welcome you to the galaxy. Please sit. We have much to discuss." The 3 humans sat down on the offered chairs. They looked completely relaxed. Voss placed her hands on the table. Kane smiled politely. Reyes sat still and watched everything with quiet eyes. Lady Serene spoke next, her voice soft and musical. "Your ship is very large, Captain Voss. We have never seen a new species arrive with such a vessel on their first journey beyond their own system. May we ask why you built something so powerful?" Voss looked straight at the Eldari woman. "We built it because we needed it," she answered simply. "Our history is full of war. We fought each other for thousands of years. When we finally looked up at the stars, we asked one question. What if someone out here is stronger and wants what we have? So we prepared. The Indomitable is our answer to that question." A few aliens shifted in their seats. Thalvorn smiled, but it did not reach his eyes. "You assume the galaxy is dangerous? Most species come with hope and open hands. You come with a warship longer than some of our cities." Marcus Kane answered this time. His voice was warm and steady. "Hope is good, but hope without strength gets people killed. We studied our own past. Strong nations on Earth were left alone. Weak ones were attacked or taken over. We decided not to be weak. The Indomitable is only our first Titan-class ship. It protects our home while we explore." The Vorath general leaned forward. His deep voice rumbled like stones grinding together. "Show us your technology. How did a species that still used chemical rockets 40 years ago build engines that move a ship this size at such speed? Your power readings are higher than anything we expected." Captain Voss gave a small shrug. "We worked hard. When we realized we were not alone, we stopped fighting each other and started building together. Our scientists found new ways to use energy. Our factories built new materials. Everything you see on the Indomitable was made by human hands in less than 40 years. Silence fell over the room. 40 years. The aliens around the table had lived for hundreds or even thousands of years. Their empires had taken centuries to reach their current power. These humans had done something impossible in one short lifetime. Lady Serene tried to test them gently. She activated a small anti-gravity field above the table. A glass of water floated smoothly in the air. "Our technology can do this without effort," she said. "We control gravity, translate languages instantly, and heal wounds in seconds. What can your people do?" Voss looked at the floating glass for a moment. She did not look impressed. "We can do many things too," she replied, "but we do not show everything at the first meeting. We came to talk, not to give away our secrets." Thalvorn felt a spark of anger. These humans were too confident. "You speak as if you are already our equal," he said. "You are new here. You should listen and learn from older races." Marcus Kane smiled again, but his eyes stayed serious. We respect older races. We also respect ourselves. We will listen, but we will not bow. Humanity has survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. Yet we learn that being kind is important, but being ready is more important. The quiet tactical officer Reyes finally spoke. His voice was low and careful. Our ship carries weapons that can defend us from many threats. We hope we never need to use them against anyone in this room, but if someone attacks us, we will protect our people. The words hung in the air. The aliens looked at each other. No new species had ever spoken so directly about weapons on their very first meeting. Thalavorn decided to change the subject. Tell us about your home. Earth is beautiful from our long-range pictures. Blue oceans, green lands, many people. Why did you send a warship instead of a peaceful explorer? Captain Voss answered without hesitation. Because we know what happens when you look weak. Our history books are full of stories where the strong took from the weak. We will trade. We will learn. We will share. But we will never be easy to take from. The meeting went on for hours. The aliens asked many questions. The humans answered most of them, but not all. They shared pictures of their cities, their farms, and their small space stations. They spoke about music, art, and food from Earth. But every time questions turned to military power, the humans became careful and quiet. At one point, Lady Serene offered to connect neural interfaces so they could share thoughts directly. Voss politely refused. We prefer to speak with our own voices, she said. Trust takes time. As the meeting continued, the aliens grew more uneasy. The humans were not rude, they were not loud. They simply acted like people who had nothing to fear. Their ship waited outside like a sleeping giant. Its weapons stayed powered down, but everyone knew they could wake up in seconds. On the live feed back to Vera Prime, Ambassador Thalvorn watched the humans closely. He had expected fear, wonder, or begging. Instead, he saw calm strength. These three humans sat in a room full of ancient races and did not look small. When the meeting finally paused for a short break, the council delegates gathered in a side room. Thalvorn spoke first. They are hiding something. No species builds a ship like that just for defense. They must have plans to conquer. The Varath general shook his heavy head. Or they truly believe the galaxy is full of enemies. Their paranoia built that monster outside. Lady Serene looked troubled. They are young, yet their eyes are old. They have seen too much war on their own world. I fear what will happen if they feel threatened. Back in the main room, Captain Voss stood up and looked out the large window at her ship. The Indomitable filled half the view. Its dark hull reflected the light from the council fleet. She turned back to the aliens. We want peace, she said simply. We want to learn from you and share what we know. But understand this, humanity has decided one thing above all else. We will never be prey again. Her words were quiet, but they carried weight. The aliens felt a chill run through the room. The first real contact between humanity and the galaxy had begun. The council had come expecting to teach a new child species. Instead, they found themselves staring at a warship built from human fear and determination. Hutron and three humans who looked ready for anything the stars could throw at them. And deep down, many of them began to wonder who was really meeting whom. The meeting room felt heavy with unspoken words. Captain Elena Voss had just finished speaking. Her calm statement still hung in the air like smoke. We will never be prey again. The alien delegates sat quietly. Thalvorn's 4 eyes narrowed. Lady Serene's silver fingers tightened around her datapad. The Vorath general stared at the humans without blinking. Suddenly, loud alarms screamed through the entire Krix flagship. Red warning lights flashed across every wall. The floor shook slightly as the ship's systems switched to battle alert. A voice boomed from the bridge speakers. All stations! We are under attack! Multiple contacts incoming at high speed. Scarvax pirate raiders. Thalvorn jumped to his feet. Scarvax! Here! Now! They are only minor thieves. They should not dare attack a council fleet. Captain Zorak's voice came next, sharp and urgent. 30 raider ships. They came out of a hidden jump point behind us. They are heading straight for the Indomitable. They must want to capture human technology. Marcus Kane looked at Voss. His face stayed calm, but his eyes grew serious. Tactical Officer Reyes stood up slowly and moved closer to the window. Outside, space lit up with fire. The Scarvax ships were ugly, patched-together vessels covered in spikes and stolen parts. They flew fast and wild, firing green plasma bolts at everything in sight. Their goal was clear: overwhelm the Council fleet and board the giant human ship before anyone could react. Where the Council ships moved into standard battle formation, Crick's battle cruisers raised their energy shields. Eldari vessels began charging their precise laser arrays. Varath dreadnoughts turned their heavy cannons toward the enemy. Captain Zorak gave the order: engage the pirates, protect the human ship, do not let them get close. But before the Council fleet could fire even one shot, the Indomitable moved. It did not rush forward like an angry beast. It moved with smooth, frightening speed. The giant warship turned slightly, positioning itself between the Council ships and the incoming pirates. Blue lights along its hull brightened. Then something new appeared: a shimmering field of dark energy that wrapped around the entire ship like a second skin. The first wave of Scarvax plasma fire hit the Indomitable, where bright green bolts slammed into the dark field. Instead of exploding against armor, the energy simply vanished. The void shield swallowed every shot like a hungry mouth. No damage, no fire, no smoke. On the Crick's flagship bridge, Captain Zorak stared with wide eyes. What is that? Our sensors cannot read it. The energy is disappearing. Inside the meeting room, the humans watched quietly. Voss crossed her arms. Kane took notes on his small pad. Reyes observed everything without speaking. The Scarvax pirates grew bolder. They split into 3 groups and tried to surround the big human ship. Their leader shouted over an open channel, his voice rough and greedy. "Surrender the big prize, Council fools. The human ship is ours. Give it up or die." The Council fleet finally opened fire. Bright beams and plasma streams shot toward the pirates. Some hits landed, damaging 2 small raider ships, but most of the Scarvax dodged with wild, unpredictable moves. They kept charging toward the Indomitable. Then the Titan-class warship answered. Hundreds of small doors opened along its sides. Swarms of tiny drone fighters poured out like angry bees. Each drone was fast and sharp. They flew in perfect formation, much faster than the bulky pirate ships. The drones opened fire with bright red energy beams. One after another, Scarvax raiders exploded in silent fireballs. The drones danced around the enemy, dodging every shot, cutting through their weak shields like knives through paper. The pirate leader screamed in rage. "Focus all fire on the big ship! Break that shield!" More than 20 Scarvax ships turned their guns on the Indomitable. Our heavy plasma cannons and missile swarms slammed into the void shield again and again. The dark field glowed brighter, but it did not break. It absorbed everything. Captain Voss spoke softly to the Council delegates. "Watch carefully, this is why we built her." From the front of the Indomitable, a single large barrel began to glow with white-blue light. It grew brighter and brighter in less than 2 seconds. Then it fired. A clean, straight lance of pure energy shot across space. It traveled 3 light seconds in the blink of an eye. The beam hit the Scarvax flagship dead center. There was no explosion at first. The pirate ship simply vanished, turned into glowing dust and gas in one clean strike. The beam continued past the wreckage and faded into the distance. The entire battle stopped for a moment. Every ship, West Council and pirate alike, seemed frozen. The remaining Scarvax raiders tried to run. They turned and fled in every direction, but the human drones chased them down. One by one, the pirate ships were destroyed or disabled. The drones did not waste shots. They struck engines, weapon systems, and bridges with perfect aim. In less than 4 minutes, it was over. 30 Scarvax ships had attacked. 28 were now floating wreckage. 2 damaged raiders surrendered, their engines dead and weapons offline. The Indomitable's drone swarm returned to its bays like obedient soldiers. The void shield faded away. The giant ship sat once again calm and untouched in the middle of the battlefield. Not a single scratch marked its dark hull. No fires burned on its surface. Its light stayed steady and bright. Silence filled the Council flagship. Captain Zorak's voice came over the speakers, quiet and shocked. The Indomitable, it took no damage. It destroyed the enemy flagship from 3 light seconds away with 1 shot. Our best weapons could not do that. In the meeting room, Thalvorn felt his legs grow weak. He sat down heavily in his chair. Lady Serene stared out the window with her mouth slightly open. The Vorith general clenched his stone fist so hard that small cracks appeared in the table. Marcus Kane spoke first, his voice polite but firm. We offer medical aid to any survivors from the pirate ships. Our shuttles can bring doctors and supplies if you allow it. Voss added simply, "We did not start this fight, but we finished it. Your fleet did not need to fire a single shot." Reyes stayed quiet, but his eyes scanned the faces of every alien in the room. He seemed to measure their fear. Back on Vera Prime, the full Galactic Council watched the replay again and again. Scientists checked the data over and over. The numbers did not lie. The human ship had used technology no one in the Council understood. The Void Shield broke every known rule of energy defense. The Lance weapon fired with power that could crack a small moon. The drones moved with intelligence that suggested advanced artificial minds. Ambassador Thalvorn finally found his voice. He looked at the three humans. How did you build this in only 40 years? Our empires took centuries to reach this level of power. Captain Voss met his gaze without blinking. We had no choice. We imagined the worst possible galaxy and built our answer to it. The Indomitable is not our strongest ship. It is our first test. A proof that we can defend ourselves. The words hit the room like a hammer. Lady Serene whispered, "Then what else do you have waiting back home?" No one answered. The humans simply looked at the aliens with steady, patient eyes. The Vorith general stood up slowly. His heavy body made the floor creak. "In all my years of war, I have never seen one ship defeat 30 enemies so easily while protecting others. Your Indomitable did not even need help from our fleet." Marcus Kane gave a small nod. "That is the point. We do not want to fight you. We want to live in peace. But if anyone thinks they can take from humanity, they will meet ships like this one." The council delegates looked at each other. Their proud fleet had been ready for battle, but the humans had solved the problem alone in minutes. The Scarvax, who had been a small nuisance for years, were crushed like insects. Thalvorn felt real fear growing in his chest now. These humans had not come begging for help. They had come showing strength that made the oldest empires in the galaxy look slow and weak. Outside, small human shuttles left the Indomitable. They moved toward the two surrendered pirate ships to give aid, just as Voss had offered. The gesture was kind, but it only made the aliens more uneasy. The same ship that had destroyed an enemy flagship in one shot now sent help to the survivors. Captain Voss turned away from the window. "The battle is finished. Shall we continue our talks, or do you need time to think?" Her voice stayed polite, but everyone heard the meaning behind the words. The council had come to meet a new species. Instead, where they had watched that new species reveal a power that shook their entire understanding of the galaxy. The Indomitable floated quietly among the council ships once more. Its dark hull reflected the light of distant stars. It looked peaceful now, but no one in the room believed that peace was weak. The first alien encounter had shown its teeth, and the mighty Galactic Council, for the first time in many centuries, began to understand that humanity was not a young child to be guided. Humanity was something far more dangerous. The giant screens in the council hall on Vera Prime played the battle again and again. Every delegate watched in silence. The dark shape of the Indomitable moved with deadly grace. The Void Shield swallowed enemy fire. The small drones cut through the pirates like a hot knife through butter. Then came that single white-blue lance shot. The Scarvax flagship disappeared in an instant. The whole fight had lasted less than 4 minutes. The human ship floated unharmed in the middle of the wreckage, calm as a sleeping giant. Ambassador Thalvorn sat in his high seat. His green skin had turned a pale shade. He could not stop staring at the screen. Just hours ago, he had called humans primitive and weak. Now he felt cold fear in his stomach. Around him, the great hall was quiet except for the low hum of the video feed. Lady Serene of the Eldari spoke first. Her soft voice shook a little. "Play the sensor data again. Show the power levels of that lance weapon." The main officer obeyed. Numbers and graphs appeared beside the video. The energy spike was higher than anything the Council had ever recorded from a single ship. It was strong enough to break through the strongest shields known in the galaxy. One shot, one enemy flagship gone. The Vorith High General stood up. His heavy stone body made the floor tremble. "We have fought wars for thousands of years," he said in his deep, rumbling voice. "Our dreadnoughts are built to last. But that human ship took 30 attackers and gave nothing back. Not one scratch. Not one system failed. How is this possible?" A scientist from the small Lyrian species raised a thin arm. Their technology should not exist yet. According to our development models, humans are still in the early atomic age. They should be using slow rockets and simple lasers. And instead, they built a 12-kilometer warship with energy shields we cannot understand, and weapons that fire across light seconds with perfect aim. Thalavorn rubbed his four eyes. They shared some information during the meeting. They said the Indomitable was built in less than 40 years. 40 years! Our empires took centuries to reach this level. What else do they have hidden on their small blue planet? More data appeared on the screens. The humans had voluntarily sent a short military summary after the battle. It was not forced. They gave it freely, as if to be polite. The document listed facts that made the entire council chamber grow colder. 17 more Titan-class ships were already under construction back in the Sol system. New shipyards worked day and night around Mars and in the asteroid belts. A secret program called Project Ragnarok was mentioned. It involved large weapons placed in orbit that could crack a planet's crust if needed. Human military doctrine was simple and clear: peace through overwhelming strength. The Vorth general read the words aloud. His voice sounded heavy. Peace through overwhelming strength. They do not hide their thinking. They expect war and prepare for it. Lady Serene leaned forward. They are not aggressive like the old pirate clans. They did not attack us. They protected our fleet. They even sent aid to the surviving pirates. But the message is clear. If anyone tries to hurt them, they will answer with total force. Whispers spread through the hall. Ancient species that had ruled the galaxy for millennia now felt small. The Krix Empire had always believed they were among the strongest. When the Eldari thought their science made them wise and superior, the Vorath trusted their thick armor and heavy guns. Now all of them looked at the human ship on the screen and felt fear. Thalavorn stood up slowly. We must face the truth. We did not discover a new weak species ready to learn from us. We met a race that spent its whole history fighting. They turned every war, every disaster, into a reason to build something stronger. When they looked at the stars, they did not see friends. They saw possible enemies. So they built the Indomitable and called it their first defense ship. A tall delegate from the Peaceful Trade Federation raised his voice. But they say they want peace. They offered trade and knowledge. Maybe we can guide them, teach them our ways. You make them part of the council as junior members. The Vorth general gave a short, bitter laugh. Junior members? Look at that ship. It is bigger than our largest dreadnought. It defeated 30 raiders while our fleet watched like children. If we treat them as juniors, they will laugh at us. Or worse, they may decide we are weak and not worth respecting. Lady Serene nodded sadly. Their captain said it clearly. We will never be prey again. They have seen too much pain on their own world. They trust strength more than promises. The hall grew quiet again. On the main screen, the replay showed the human drones returning to the Indomitable like loyal pets. The giant ship looked peaceful once more. But everyone now understood the danger sleeping inside it. New reports came in from the border. Human scouts had started mapping nearby systems. Small, fast human ships moved carefully, but without fear. They did not ask permission. They simply explored. One scout had already sent a polite message offering to share star maps if the council wished. Thalavorn walked to the center of the chamber. His steps felt heavy. We need to decide our next move. The humans are not asking to join us as beggars. They are offering to join as equals. If we refuse, they may simply go their own way and keep building more ships like the Indomitable. If we accept, we must treat them with real respect. No tricks. No looking down on them. A loud voice rose from the back rows. It was the old leader of the Drax Union, a species known for careful thinking. We have one big question left. Why did they build something so dangerous so quickly? Are they planning to conquer the galaxy? Or are they truly afraid of what they might find out here? The scientist from the Lyrian species answered. Our long-range scans of Earth show a planet full of old battle scars, cities destroyed and rebuilt many times, weapons used on their own people. They learned to fear each other first. When they built their first telescopes and saw the size of the universe, they imagined monsters in the dark. So they made their own monster to protect them. The Indomitable is the child of their fear and their clever hands. The Vorth general spoke again. Their captain told us during the meeting, we imagined the worst possible galaxy and built our answer to it. That is why the ship exists, not to attack us today, but to make sure no one can attack them tomorrow. Thalvorn felt his mouth go dry. Then we must be very careful. If we make them feel threatened, they will build even more. They have factories that never sleep. They have millions of people ready to work. In 10 years, they could have a fleet of these Titan ships. In 20 years, they could change the balance of power in the entire galaxy. Lady Serene looked at the image of the Indomitable still floating on the screen. The Council has never trembled before a new species. But today we do. We came expecting to teach a young race. Instead, we found a race that taught us how dangerous preparation can be. More data kept arriving. Human diplomats on the flagship had politely asked for a full council meeting on Vera Prime. They wanted to speak to everyone, not just the small group on the border. Captain Voss and Diplomat Kane had said they would come in person if invited. They promised to bring no weapons and to follow all rules. But everyone knew the Indomitable would stay close, watching. The Vorth general sat down with a heavy thud. I have fought many battles. I have seen species rise and fall. But never have I seen a race turn their own paranoia into such perfect strength. They do not hate us. They simply refuse to be weak. That makes them more dangerous than any hateful enemy. Thalvorn looked around the hall. Faces that once looked proud and calm now showed worry and fear. The ancient council, which had guided the galaxy for thousands of years, felt small for the first time. He spoke slowly. We will invite the humans to Vera Prime. We will offer them a seat at the table as equals. We will open trade and share knowledge. But we must also prepare ourselves. We must watch their growth. We must make sure they see us as friends, not as future threats. A quiet voice from the side spoke up. It was a young Eldari aide. What if they already see the galaxy as a threat? What if their history makes them unable to trust anyone completely? No one had an answer. On the border inside the Crick flagship, Captain Elena Voss stood near the window again. She looked at the stars and at the council ships around her. Marcus Kane stood beside her. Tactical Officer Reyes watched the alien delegates from a short distance. Kane spoke softly. They are scared now. We can see it in their eyes. Voss nodded. Good. Fear keeps people honest. We showed them we are not weak. Now we can talk as equals. We want peace, we want friends, but we will never beg for safety. Never again. Reyes added in his quiet voice, their fleet is strong, aye, but slow to change. Our shipyards are fast. If they ever turn against us, we will be ready. Voss shook her head. We hope it never comes to that, but we built the Indomitable, so that hope has teeth. Back on Vera Prime, the council continued talking late into the night cycle. Plans were made. Messages were prepared. The invitation to the humans was written with careful, respectful words. No one suggested treating them like children anymore. The giant screens finally went dark, but the image of the Indomitable stayed burned into every mind. A 12-kilometer Titan built by a young species in a short time. A ship that carried the weight of humanity's long, painful history and their decision to never be victims again. Ambassador Thalvorn walked to his private room after the meeting. He looked out at the crystal city of Vera Prime. And for the first time in his long life, he felt truly small. The galaxy had seemed so safe and ordered before today. Now it felt wider and more dangerous. He whispered to himself, we did not find humanity. Humanity found us, and they came ready for anything. In the quiet council hall, the last lights dimmed. The mighty leaders of the galaxy sat in the dark, thinking about one simple truth. A single human warship had made the entire Galactic Council tremble in fear. And there were more ships coming. The Grand Council Hall on Vera Prime was packed. Every seat was filled. Hundreds of alien leaders from across the galaxy sat in silence. Crystal walls glowed with soft blue light, but the mood was heavy. No one smiled. No one whispered jokes. All eyes stayed fixed on the wide central platform where the human guests would soon stand. And Ambassador Thalvorn stood at the front. His 4 eyes looked tired. He had not slept since the battle with the Scarvax pirates. The image of the Indomitable destroying an enemy ship with one shot still burned in his mind. Lady Serene sat nearby, her silver hands folded tightly. The Vorath High General stood like a stone statue, arms crossed over his thick chest. Every important species in the galaxy had come to this meeting. A loud chime rang through the hall. The main doors opened. 3 humans walked in with steady steps. Captain Elena Voss led the way. She wore the same dark uniform with silver lines. Her black hair was tied back neatly. Her face was calm and strong. Behind her came Chief Diplomat Marcus Kane, smiling politely but with serious eyes. Tactical Officer Reyes followed 2 steps back, quiet as always, watching everything. When they stopped in the center of the platform, the lights above them brightened to show them clearly. The humans looked small compared to some of the tall or heavy aliens, but no one felt they were weak. Not after what the Indomitable had shown. Thalvorn stepped forward and spoke in a clear voice. Captain Voss, Diplomat Kane, and Officer Reyes, the Galactic Council welcomes you to Vera Prime. We have watched the battle at the border. We have studied your ship. We have read the information you shared. Today we wish to speak openly about the future. Captain Voss gave a small nod. Thank you, Ambassador. We are here to talk as equals. Humanity wants peace and friendship with the galaxy. We want to trade, to learn, and to explore together, but we will do it on fair terms. Marcus Kane continued smoothly. On what we know, you are an old and powerful council. You have rules and traditions. We respect that, but we also ask you to respect us. We are not here to beg for a place at your table. We built our own place among the stars. A low murmur ran through the hall. Some delegates looked uncomfortable. Others simply stared. The Vorith High General spoke next, his deep voice echoing. Your ship, the Indomitable, defeated 30 pirate raiders without help. It used weapons and shields we do not understand. You built it in less than 40 years. Tell us honestly, how many more ships like it do you have? Voss answered without hesitation. 17 more Titan-class ships are under construction right now. New shipyards are building even larger vessels. We also have smaller defense ships, drone swarms, and orbital platforms. All of them exist to protect Earth and our colonies. We do not hide this. We want you to know exactly who we are. The words made many aliens shift in their seats. Thalvorn raised a hand for quiet. We offer you full membership in the Galactic Council. You will have trade rights, protection under our laws, and a voice in our decisions. In return, we ask that you share some of your technology and agree to follow our rules on war and expansion. Marcus Kane smiled gently, but his voice stayed firm. We thank you for the offer. We accept membership. We will trade fairly and follow rules that make sense. But we will not accept rules that treat us as children or weak newcomers. We will keep our own military. We will defend our people if anyone attacks us. And we will never give up the right to build what we need to stay safe. Lady Serene spoke softly. Your history is full of war. We understand why you built such powerful ships. But the galaxy is mostly peaceful now. The Council has kept order for thousands of years. You do not need to fear us. Captain Voss looked straight at her. With respect, we have heard similar words before on Earth. Strong nations promised peace to weaker ones, then took what they wanted. We learned a hard lesson. Safety comes from strength. We want to trust the Council, but trust must be earned both ways. We will join as equals, not as juniors, not as curiosities to be studied. Humanity will never be prey again. Her last words rang through the quiet hall. We will never be prey again. The Vorith General nodded slowly, as if he respected the honesty. Yeah, you speak like warriors. We understand that language, but tell us about this Project Ragnarok mentioned in your summary. Weapons that can crack planets. Why build such terrible things? Tactical Officer Reyes answered this time. His voice was low and steady. We hope we never use them. They are there so that no enemy ever thinks they can destroy us without paying a price too high to imagine. We built them because we imagined the worst. A fleet that wants to wipe out humanity. An invasion that leaves nothing behind. We made sure that if such a day comes, the attacker will lose more than they gain. Thalvorn felt a cold shiver run down his back. These humans were not boasting. They were stating simple facts. They had looked at the dark possibilities of the universe and answered with steel and fire. He spoke carefully. We accept your conditions. You will join as full members with the rights of an equal species. Your military remains your own. Your ships may travel freely. In return, we ask only that you inform the Council before large military movements and that you join us in keeping the peace against true threats like the Scarvax. Marcus Kane gave a respectful bow of his head. That is fair. We agree. The formal vote was quick. Every delegate raised a hand or tentacle or claw in agreement. No one dared oppose, not after seeing what one human ship could do. The Indomitable still waited at the edge of the system, a dark shadow that no one could forget. As the meeting continued, the humans answered more questions. They spoke about Earth's cities, its oceans, its music and art. They offered to share medicine that could heal many diseases. Yet they promised clean energy technology that worked without harming planets. The aliens listened carefully. Some began to feel hopeful. Maybe these humans could bring new strength to the council. But the fear did not leave. During a short break, Talvorn walked with the Vorath general near the tall windows. They looked out at the Crystal City. Far above in orbit, a small human shuttle waited beside the council station. The general spoke quietly. In all my years, I have never met a species that weaponized their own fear so well. They do not hate the galaxy. They simply refuse to be weak. That makes them dangerous in a new way. Talvorn nodded. We thought we were welcoming a child. Instead, we opened the door to a titan. Their ship is only the beginning. In 10 years, they will have more. In 20 years, they may change everything. Lady Serene joined them. Her voice was soft but worried. They are not cruel. They offered aid to the pirates they defeated. They speak of peace, but their eyes are old. They have seen too much pain on their own world. I fear what will happen if they ever feel truly threatened. Back in the main hall, the final session began. Captain Voss stood once more in the center. The lights shone on her uniform. She looked small, but her voice carried clearly to every corner. We accept your invitation to join the Galactic Council. We will send ambassadors and open trade routes. Our scientists will work with yours. Our artists will share songs and stories. But remember this one promise we make today. Humanity will walk among the stars as free people. We will be good neighbors. We will fight beside you against real enemies, but we will never kneel. We will never beg, and we will never be easy to break. She paused and looked slowly around the hall. The Indomitable is not a threat to you. It is a shield for us. As long as the Council treats us with respect, that shield stays quiet. If anyone forgets that respect, the shield will answer. The hall stayed silent. No one clapped. No one cheered. They simply listened. Marcus Kane added with a warm smile, we look forward to a long and peaceful friendship. Earth has much to offer. New ideas, new foods, new ways of thinking. Let us build something better together. The formal documents were signed with glowing digital seals. The humans received their official council rings, small devices that allowed free travel and communication. Thalvorn personally placed one on Captain Voss's hand. His fingers shook slightly as he did it. As the meeting ended, the three humans walked back toward the doors. The delegates stood and watched them leave. No one spoke loudly. The sound of their footsteps echoed in the big hall. Outside, the Indomitable waited in high orbit above Vera Prime. Its dark hull reflected the light of the planet's three suns. It looked peaceful now. Its weapons were powered down. Its drones stayed inside. But every alien who looked up at it felt the same deep feeling, fear mixed with respect. Thalvorn returned to his private chamber after the humans left. He sat alone and stared at the wall screen that still showed the Indomitable. The giant ship hung silently against the stars. He thought about everything that had happened in just a few days. How humans had not asked for permission to enter the galaxy. They had built a monster of a ship and flown it straight in. They had shown a strength without starting a fight. They had offered peace without weakness. And they had made the oldest, proudest species in the galaxy feel small. He whispered to the empty room, we did not discover humanity. Humanity revealed itself, and the galaxy will never feel safe again. In the council hall, the light slowly dimmed. The delegates left one by one. Many walked with slower steps than usual. The Vorath general paused at the door and looked back at the empty platform where the humans had stood. He gave a small nod, as if to an unseen opponent. Lady Serene stayed a little longer. She touched the crystal wall and felt its cool surface. They are young, she said softly to herself. But their will is old and hard as stone. May the stars help us if they ever turn that will against us. Far above the planet, Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the Indomitable. She looked down at the glowing blue world of Vera Prime. Marcus Kane stood beside her. Tactical Officer Reyes monitored the sensors. Kane spoke quietly. We did it. We joined without giving up our freedom. Voss nodded. For now, they are scared, but they are also wise. As long as they respect us, we can be friends. If not, she looked at the dark, powerful ship around her. We are ready, Reyes added in his calm voice. The crew is standing down from alert, but the void shields stay on standby, just in case. Voss gave a small smile. Good. We came in peace. We stay ready for war. Aemon, that is who we are. The Indomitable turned slowly and began its journey back toward the border of human space. Its engines glowed with quiet blue light. Behind it, the Galactic Council watched from their crystal towers and felt the weight of a new truth. The age of easy safety was over. A new species had arrived, not as a helpless newcomer, but as a force built from centuries of human struggle and determination. They brought gifts of knowledge and trade, but they also carried shields and lances strong enough to make the stars tremble. In that moment, the Galactic Council understood a terrible and wonderful truth. They had not discovered humanity. Humanity had revealed itself, and the galaxy would never feel safe again. Months had passed since the humans joined the Galactic Council. The Indomitable had returned to Earth for upgrades, but its shadow still hung over every meeting on Vera Prime. New human ambassadors now sat in the council hall with their own seats. They spoke politely, shared star maps, and offered medical help for old diseases that still troubled some alien worlds. Trade ships from Earth began to arrive. Small, fast vessels loaded with rare metals, new medicines, and strange human foods that many aliens found surprisingly good. But the fear never fully left. Ambassador Thalvorn walked through the quiet gardens outside the council building. Tall crystal trees swayed gently in the artificial wind. Lady Serene walked beside him, her silver robe brushing the soft ground. The Vorath High General followed a few steps behind, his heavy feet leaving deep prints in the path. They are everywhere now, Thalvorn said quietly. Human scouts map systems we have not visited in centuries. Their traders sell tools that work better than some of our own. Their doctors have already cured the wasting sickness on 3 outer worlds. Yet every time I see one of their ships, I remember that Titan. Lady Serene looked up at the sky. They keep their word. They have not started any fights. They even helped destroy a Scarvax base that attacked a trade route last month. But their new ships, I saw the reports. 2 more Titan-class vessels launched from their asteroid yards. They call them Unbreakable and Defender. Each one is bigger than the first, the Vorath general grunted. My spies say the humans work without rest. Their factories run day and night. Young humans train to fly drones and fire lance weapons. They teach their children that the galaxy is beautiful but dangerous. They do not hide their strength. They celebrate it. Thalvorn stopped near a small fountain. Clear water sparkled under 3 suns. We invited them to be equals. Now I wonder if we invited a storm. What happens when they decide one of our rules is unfair? What happens when a human colony feels threatened by an old empire? A soft voice answered from behind them. It was Marcus Kane, the human diplomat. He had approached quietly during their walk. Captain Elena Voss stood beside him in her dark uniform. They both looked relaxed, but their eyes missed nothing. We heard your words, Kane said with a polite smile. We do not wish to be a storm. We only wish to live freely. If a rule is unfair, we will talk about it like adults. If a colony is threatened, we will protect it. That is all. Voss added simply. The Indomitable is back in Sol for maintenance, but 2 new Titans now patrol our border. They are there to keep the peace, not to break it. We have shared our star charts. We have opened our libraries. We ask only that the Council does the same. The 3 aliens looked at the 2 humans. Thalvorn felt the old fear rise again. These people were too calm, too ready. They spoke of peace, but every sentence carried the quiet promise of overwhelming force if needed. The Vorath general spoke first. Your new ships, tell us about them. Are they like the Indomitable? Voss nodded. They are improved, better shields, faster drones, stronger lance batteries. We learned from the first battle. And we made them safer for our crews and deadlier for anyone who attacks. Lady Serene's voice was soft but worried. You build faster than we expected. In a few years, you could have a fleet that matches the entire Council Navy. Does that not worry you? Marcus Kane laughed gently, but there was no mockery in it. It worries us if someone tries to hurt us. We do not build to conquer. We build so no one thinks they can conquer us. Our history taught us that weak neighbors get eaten. Strong neighbors get respect. Thalvorn sighed. Then let us be honest. Many in the Council are afraid. They see your growth and remember old stories of rising empires that later brought war. They ask me every day, When will the humans stop building? When will they feel safe enough to slow down? Captain Voss looked straight into his four eyes. We will slow down when the galaxy proves it is truly safe. When no pirate dares attack. When no old empire looks at our colonies with hungry eyes. Until then, we keep our shields up and our factories busy. That is our promise to our children. The group continued walking. The path led to a high balcony that looked over the Crystal City. Below them, streets were busy with aliens of many shapes and colors. In the distance, a small human trade ship landed at the main port. Its hull was simple but strong, with the Terran Federation symbol painted clearly on the side. The Vorath general pointed at the ship. Your traders carry no heavy weapons. They come with open holds, yet every one of them has a hidden drone bay and strong armor. Even your merchants are ready for war? Kane shrugged. We learned long ago that peaceful traders without teeth do not stay peaceful for long. A little preparation keeps everyone honest. As they stood on the balcony, a new alarm sounded across the city. It was not loud, but every council member knew the tone. It meant an emergency message from the border. Thalvorn touched his communicator. His face grew tight as he listened. A large Scarvax fleet has gathered near the outer rim. Over 200 ships this time. They are moving toward human colony worlds. They say they want revenge for their lost flagship. Voss and Kane exchanged a quick look. Voss spoke calmly into her own wrist device. Relay to the Unbreakable and Defender. Tell them to move to intercept. Do not fire first, but protect our people. The Vorath general clenched his fists. 200 ships. Even our full navy would need time to gather. Your two new Titans cannot face that many alone. Marcus Kane smiled. Watch and see, General. We built them for days like this. Hours later, the council hall filled again with urgent speed. Live feeds showed the growing crisis. The Scarvax fleet moved like a dark cloud. Patched ships, stolen weapons, and angry warriors who wanted to prove they were still dangerous. They headed straight for the small human mining colony on Epsilon Eridani. Two human Titan-class ships appeared on the edge of the system. The Unbreakable and the Defender were even larger than the Indomitable. Their dark hulls gleamed under the light of a distant sun. They moved into position between the pirates and the colony without hesitation. The Scarvax leader broadcast a loud threat. Human weaklings! You destroyed our brothers. Now we take your colony and your ships. Surrender or burn. The reply came from the Unbreakable. It was Captain Voss's own voice, steady and clear. She had taken command from the flagship for this fight. This is Captain Elena Voss. Turn back now. Attack our people and you will be destroyed. This is your only warning. The pirates laughed and charged. What happened next was shown live across every council world. The two Titan ships activated their void shields. The dark fields wrapped around them like living shadows. Swarms of drones poured out. Thousands this time, faster and smarter than before. The human ships did not wait. They moved forward together, perfectly coordinated. Pirate plasma fire rained down. It vanished into the shields. Missiles exploded harmlessly against the dark energy. Then the Titans answered. Hundreds of lance batteries fired at once. Clean white-blue beams cut through the pirate formation. Ship after ship vanished in silent flashes. The drones danced through the enemy lines, tearing apart engines and weapon mounts with perfect shots. The Defender released a new weapon, a wide pulse that disabled dozens of pirate ships at once, leaving them drifting and powerless. The battle lasted 23 minutes. When it ended, more than 180 Scarvax ships were destroyed or disabled. The rest turned and fled in panic. The two human Titans floated unharmed among the wreckage. Their shields faded. Their lights stayed bright and steady. Small rescue shuttles left their bays to help any survivors who surrendered. Back in the council hall, the delegates watched in the stunned silence, while Thalvorn sat with his head in his hands. Lady Serene whispered, 2 ships against 200, and they lost nothing. The Vorath general stared at the screen with something like awe. They improved everything. Faster response, stronger fields, more drones. In just a few months, they made their Titans even deadlier. Marcus Kane, who had stayed in the hall, spoke quietly. We told you we learned from every fight. The Scarvax chose to attack. We chose to protect. This is what happens when someone tests our promise. Captain Voss's voice came through the live feed from the Unbreakable. She spoke to the entire galaxy. The Terran Federation does not seek war, but we will finish any war started against us. Let this be the last time anyone tries to take from humanity by force. We offer peace to all who offer it back. And we offer destruction to those who do not. The transmission ended. The council hall remained quiet for a long time. Thalvorn finally stood up. His voice was tired but clear. The humans have shown us again what they are. They do not conquer today, but they make it impossible for anyone to conquer them tomorrow. We must learn to live with this new truth. Lady Serene nodded. They tremble no one on purpose, but their strength makes the rest of us tremble anyway. The Vorath general gave a slow, heavy nod. I once thought only stone and armor made a warrior. Now I see that will and preparation can build something stronger. Humanity has both. Over the next weeks, the galaxy changed in small but important ways. Some old empires quietly increased their own shipbuilding. Others sent more diplomats to Earth to learn human ways. Han trade grew faster. New treaties were signed with careful words about respect and borders. But the biggest change was inside the council itself. During the next full meeting, Thalvorn proposed a new rule. No species shall threaten another without facing the full council, and we shall treat every member as true equals, especially the Terran Federation. The vote passed without a single no. Marcus Kane stood to speak after the vote. Thank you. Humanity accepts this new bond. We bring our strength to the council. We also bring our hope that one day no species will need Titans to feel safe. Until that day comes, we will stand ready beside you. Captain Voss, back from the border, added simply, we came in peace the first time. We still come in peace. But our peace has teeth. Use that truth wisely. As the meeting ended, the delegates filed out slowly. Many looked up at the night sky where a new human Titan patrolled in high orbit. A dark guardian watching over Vera Prime itself. Thalvorn stood alone on the balcony once more. He watched the human ship move silently against the stars. Its lights were steady. Its weapons stayed quiet, but its presence said everything. The galaxy had met humanity. It had trembled, and now it had to learn to live with a new balance, one where the youngest species carried the heaviest shield and the sharpest lance. In the quiet night, Thalvorn whispered the words that now lived in every council member's heart. Humanity revealed itself, and the galaxy will never feel safe again. Years passed quietly after the second Scarvax defeat. The galaxy tried to return to its old rhythm, but everything felt different. When human ships moved through council space with calm confidence, their traders brought new tools, better medicines, and stories from Earth that many aliens found exciting. Human scientists worked side by side with Eldari researchers on new energy projects. Human doctors traveled to distant worlds and cured sicknesses that had lasted for centuries. On the surface, the Terran Federation seemed like a good neighbor, but the shadow of the Titans never faded. On Vera Prime, Ambassador Thalvorn now met regularly with Marcus Kane. The two had become careful friends. They sat together in a quiet garden one afternoon under the three suns. Thalvorn's 4 eyes looked older. Small lines of worry marked his green face. You have been with us for 5 years now, Thalvorn said. Your people have kept every promise. Trade flows. No wars have started. Yet my people still wake up afraid when they see your ships on the news? Marcus Kane sipped a cup of human tea that he had brought as a gift. We know the fear is there. We do not enjoy it. But we cannot pretend to be weak just to make others comfortable. Our children ask us every day if the stars are safe. We answer honestly. They are safer because we are strong. Lady Serene joined them, her silver robe shining softly. She had become one of the strongest voices for closer ties with humanity. The council has changed because of you, she said. We now train our fleets faster. We share more technology than before. Some species even copy your drone designs. You have made the whole galaxy sharper. The Vorath High General walked up the path. His heavy steps shook the ground a little. He no longer looked at humans with pure suspicion. And there was respect in his deep voice now. My warriors study your battle records. They say the Titans fight like they have nothing to lose. That kind of will is rare. We respect it, but we also watch your shipyards. How many Titans do you have now? Kane answered without hiding anything. 29 active Titan-class ships, 12 more under construction. We also have newer designs, bigger ones we call Leviathan-class. The first will launch next year. They are meant for deep exploration and heavy defense. Thalvorn closed his eyes for a moment. Leviathan. Even the name sounds like a monster from old stories. You keep building larger and stronger. When does it stop? Captain Elena Voss approached from the garden entrance. She had aged a little with a few gray hairs at her temples, but her eyes were still sharp and steady. She had just returned from a long patrol along the outer rim. It stops when the galaxy no longer needs us to be this strong, she said simply. We have seen old maps. There are still wild regions where pirates and forgotten empires hide. We map them. We protect our colonies. We help the council when asked. But we never lower our guard. The four of them sat together on stone benches. The Vorath general spoke again. A new threat is growing. The old Drax Union has been quiet for years, but our spies say they are building secret fleets. They fear your growth. They talk about containing the human problem before your Leviathans change everything. Voss nodded. We know. Our scouts have seen their hidden shipyards. We have not moved against them. We wait. If they attack, we will answer. If they talk, we will listen. But we will not wait to be hit first. Lady Serene looked worried. War between council members would break the peace we have kept for centuries. The humans are now part of the council. If the Drax strike at your colonies, the whole galaxy could burn. Marcus Kane set down his tea. Then let us prevent it. We can call a special meeting, invite the Drax leaders, show them what happens when someone tests us, not with words only, with a demonstration. Thalvorn raised his hands. No more battles if we can avoid them. But perhaps a joint fleet exercise. Let the Council and the Terran Federation train together. Let the Drax see our combined strength. Maybe that will cool their heads. The idea spread quickly. Within weeks, the largest military exercise in galactic history was planned near a neutral star system. The Council sent its best ships, Krix battlecruisers, Aeldari science vessels turned warships, and Vorath dreadnoughts. The humans brought 6 Titan-class ships, including the original Indomitable, now upgraded with new systems. The exercise began with simple drills. Ships practiced formation flying. They ran rescue missions. They simulated blocking pirate attacks. The aliens moved with centuries of tradition and careful rules. The humans moved with speed and creative tactics that surprised everyone. Then came the final test, a mock battle against a large target drone fleet that acted like an enemy force. The Council fleet attacked first in their standard way. They formed tight lines and fired coordinated volleys. It was beautiful and disciplined, but slow. The human Titans waited until the enemy drones closed in. Then they struck. With void shields flared to life, thousands of drones launched in perfect swarms. Lance batteries fired in rapid bursts. New pulse weapons disabled whole groups of targets at once. The 6 Titans moved like a single living creature, covering each other's blind spots and striking from unexpected angles. In less than 15 minutes, the entire target fleet was destroyed or disabled. The Council ships had barely begun their second attack wave. On the observation platform, Thalvorn watched the live feed with wide eyes. They fight as if every battle is their last. No waste, no hesitation, just pure efficiency. The Vorath general laughed deeply for the first time in years. My warriors are taking notes. They want to train with the humans. They say fighting beside Titans would make any enemy think twice. After the exercise, the Drax Union leaders were invited to watch the recordings. They sat in silence as the human ships tore through the mock enemy. When the lights came up, their lead ambassador looked pale. We see now, he said quietly. We will not challenge the Terran Federation. We will honor the Council peace. The crisis passed without a shot fired. But the message was clear to every species. Attacking humanity meant facing Titans that could end a fleet in minutes. Back on Vera Prime, a grand celebration was held to mark 10 years of human membership. Lights filled the Crystal City. Music from many worlds played together. Human chefs served food from Earth. Spicy dishes, sweet fruits, and warm breads that surprised many aliens with their taste. Captain Voss stood on a high stage with Thalvorn, Lady Serene, and the Vorath general. She raised a glass of clear water. We came to the stars ready for the worst, she said. Instead, we found friends. We still keep our shields strong, but we also open our hands. Thank you for giving us a place at the table as equals. The crowd cheered, but many eyes still looked up at the night sky, where a new Leviathan-class ship, the Eternal Guardian, hung in orbit like a silent promise. Marcus Kane spoke next. Humanity offers more than weapons. We offer ideas. We offer hope that one day strength will only be needed for exploration, not defense. Until that day, we stand with the Council. As the party continued, Thalvorn pulled Voss aside. Tell me the truth, Captain. Do you ever feel safe? After all the building, all the preparation, do your people ever sleep without fear? Voss looked at the stars for a long moment. We sleep better now than we did before we left Earth, because we know we can protect what matters. The fear is still there, but it is smaller. It no longer controls us. We control it. Lady Serene joined them. Your people changed us. We were comfortable. You made us remember that the universe is big and can be dangerous. We are wiser because of you. The Varath general raised his heavy glass. To the Titans, may they never need to wake fully. But if they do, may they wake for the right reasons. Years continued to pass. Human colonies grew on new worlds. Joint Council human fleets patrolled dangerous regions and cleared out pirate nests. New technology spread. Human energy systems made planets greener, while alien medical knowledge helped humans live longer. But the core truth remained. Whenever a new species joined the Council, the first thing they were shown was the recorded battles of the Indomitable, the Unbreakable, and the Defender. The story was told simply, these are the humans, they come in peace, but they come ready for war. Treat them with respect. On Earth, in the main shipyard orbiting Mars, the first true Leviathan-class ship prepared for launch. It was 20 kilometers long, with shields that could cover a small moon, and weapons that could reach across star systems. Its name was Humanity's Shield. Captain Voss, now an admiral, stood on its bridge during the final tests. She looked out at the red planet below and the blue Earth in the distance. Marcus Kane, retired from active diplomacy but still advising, stood beside her. We did it, he said. We made the galaxy notice us without starting a war. Voss smiled. Ahana, we made them notice that peace has a price, and we paid it in advance. Far away on Vera Prime, Thalvorn stood on the same balcony where he had watched the first Titan years ago. A young Krix aide asked him, Ambassador, are you still afraid of the humans? Thalvorn looked up at the sky. A human trade ship passed overhead, its lights bright and friendly. I am not afraid of them anymore, he said. I am afraid of what the galaxy would be without them. They forced us to be better, stronger, more honest. The tremble we felt that first day, it was the tremble of waking up. He smiled slowly. Humanity revealed itself, and because they did, the galaxy is safer than it has ever been, even if it still feels the weight of their titans watching over it. In the quiet night, the stars shone down on a galaxy that had learned a hard but valuable lesson. Strength born from fear could become the greatest guardian of peace, and the species that built the first dangerous titan had, in the end, helped make the stars a little less dark for everyone.